Step Champion. Today I have a review for you guys on the Corsair Harpoon RGB Pro mouse. This is the mouse in question. It is a $30 mouse. They advertise it as being an FPS/MOBA mouse, although I don't buy that because it's not a MOBA mouse at all. It only has 6 programmable buttons, which I'll get to later. As I said, it is $30. There is, they say it's good for claw grip, by the way, which I can't argue. For palm, it's just tiny. Although you could kind of do a modified palm where, like, you don't put your hand on the outside. I mean, you can kind of palm it. And then for fingertip, yeah, it works for fingertip. It doesn't actually really work for palm because you can't really rest your hand on it. It's a very small mouse. I'll get to that as well. It's mostly an ergonomic mouse. It's not really ambi, as you can see. It does rise in the left. There are buttons on the left and none on the right. Although it actually does feel okay holding with my left hand. But of course, there's no buttons on the side. So you'd have to, like, use these fingers for the buttons, which is just weird. As you can see, it does collect fingerprints pretty easily. It's an 85-gram mouse, which is good. I mean, it's very, very light. You can see the mouse feet on the bottom. They're okay, but they've kind of worn a little bit. They don't feel as good as my Night Sword in terms of the feet, although that's just my opinion. What else? They do have onboard memory. This mouse does have onboard memory, so you can, you definitely can, you know, you can switch it between devices and still have all your macros saved and whatever. It's definitely worn a little bit. I don't know how that got there. When I had it, I don't think it was like that, but I'm actually at my mom's work setup right now. She's going to bring this to work, so I'm filming this review before she does that. There is a normal $15 to $20 Harpoon RGB. That has 6,000 DPI. This has 12,000 DPI. So I don't know if that's the only change. Maybe there's a small change in, like, the sensor or something, although I'm not sure. It does have a very thin rubber cable. It's not detachable. You can't interchange it or anything like that. I mean, you can, but you'd have to, like, heavily mod it. It's very thin. It's rubber. They call it tangle free, but come on, give me a fucking break. Look at that. I mean, that's not really a tangle, but, like, it kind of is. Like, yeah, they call it a tangle free cable, but not really. Let's see if there's any rattle. You love to hear that. No rattle. That was the cable you heard there, by the way. The sensor is one of the areas where they kind of skimped out. You'll find it on some cheaper mice. It's the PixArt PMW 3327, which is pretty good, although it's not, you know, it's nothing crazy. I haven't had any issues with it, so hooray. It has one RGB zone. Of course, this is changeable in IQ. If you do want to see Corsair IQ, me showing off Corsair IQ and how that works, kind of. Not really how it works, but just showing off the interface, how easy it is to use, whatever. User experience. It's actually not that easy to use, although, you know, I haven't tried it that much yet. It seems like it could be okay to use, but I don't know. You can change it in IQ and the DPI and all that, but by default, you can change this, but this changes the DPI. So red is the lowest DPI, then white. It's hard to see that that's white, but yeah. And then green, and then yellow, which it's hard to see that as well. It's like neon. It's like more neon greenish yellow. The other one was a darker green. And then blue. I like to use the second lowest, which I believe is 800 DPI, and is the white one. That's just my opinion. Of course, I haven't gamed on it. If I gamed on it, I might go lower, and especially if I had more space on the mouse pad. This is Mom's. I used to use the SteelSeries RGB QCK Prism XL, whatever. Although that was an extra large mouse pad, but I didn't have a lot of space on it, unfortunately. It has Omron switches, which are rated for 20 million clicks. It does have 6 programmable buttons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has a polling rate of 1,000 hertz, nothing skimpy there. It has a 1.8 meter cable that they call tangle free, as I said. 1.8 meters, I believe that's about 6 feet. As you can see, it definitely does extend a while. It's a hefty size cable. You might want to use a mouse bungee. With any wired mouse, honestly, you want to use a mouse bungee. The dimensions are 4.54 by 2.29, which I would guess, yeah, that's the across, 2.29 across. by 1.59 up, or 115 by 58 by 40 millimeters. The first one was in inches, if I didn't say that. So it's a very, very small mouse. I mean, look at this. Tiny. It's like a baby's mouse. Very small. That's another area where they kind of skimped. I have not really had any issues with this mouse, to be completely honest with you. Nothing's broken. It's all been fine. I haven't used it a ton, but I've actually used it. I've used it a pretty good amount. So, yeah, I haven't really fiddled with this mouse and IQ at all, and I probably won't. But anyways, because it's my mom's now, for business at least, I'll give you a quick sound test before we end the video. I really like the clicks on this mouse, guys. There's almost no pre-travel. Very crisp clicks. Definitely, I love that sound of clicks. I'm going to kind of try to show you guys the tracking a little bit. It's not a very good demonstration, but I am just showing you guys that it really does work. It really does track, despite not having the best sensor. It's an optical sensor, the Pixart PMW3327. Of course, it's an optical sensor. And Pixart is kind of like that standard brand that you'll see for a lot of, with a lot of mice. It's like the standard. Some companies are making their own sensors, but not on this mouse, at least. They don't have it on this mouse. The sides, it looks kind of like a grippy texture, but it's not. It's just like for show, for looks. It's not like a grippy texture, really. It's just the same material, plastic. It feels like it's not rubber, I can tell you that. Anyways, that's the mouse. It's the Corsair Harpoon Rgb Pro. I'm not showing you guys the mouse pad by this, guys. I'm just showing you guys the feet. It doesn't glide that much, although, of course, this is a soft mouse pad, so... But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I can personally say I have not had any issues with this mouse to date. It's $30. The only thing over the normal Harpoon that I think, it's the 12K DPI. Nobody needs 12K DPI. Pretty much, some people say that people use it, but I haven't really seen it. I don't see any use for that. So I would say if you run a really budget mouse, just get the normal Harpoon or something like that. Or there are other options as well. I have not had any issues with it. It's very small, so if you have small hands, this would be better for you than if you have big hands. Or if you just use claw, it could work pretty well for claw, normal-sized hands. Anyways, guys, that was Isaiah the Gangsta FTW. Hope you enjoyed the video. I've had it for, by the way, just for context, I've had it for a year and a half, 0 issues so far. So it's pretty reliable. Would I recommend it? It's a wired mouse, so I don't love it. But compared to other wired mice, and I haven't even been using it with a bungee. But compared to other wired mice without using a bungee, yeah, I'd recommend it. It's a good, cheap option. And yeah, see you guys. By the way, guys, I want to let you know I can't show you what's in the box for the Corsair Harpoon Rgb Pro because this was before I got into PCs when I got it. I didn't keep the box, and I've had it for so long, I can't show you what's in the box. I'm sorry. See you guys.